Hey everybody, my name's Allison and this is the For Knit's Sakes podcast. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram under For Knit's Sakes. I'll write them on the bottom of the bar so you can find me on either one if you would like to. And I'm coming to you from El Paso, Texas. I am a military spouse who just recently relocated from Germany to here, and I was packing up my stash and said to my husband I could probably knit just for my stash for the whole next year. Including crochet projects, knitting, and some cross stitching as well. And he said, I don't know if you can do it. And I said, challenge accepted. So I said from January 1st until July 1st that I would not buy any yarn or any cross stitch thread or anything else, that I would solely work from what I had, and I would find projects that would fit with what I already own. So I got my whole stash here now. It's in front of me. Maybe I'll show it one day during a different podcast. But today I'll just show some finished objects that I've done since Christmas, as well as what I have on the needles and maybe what I have in mind for things that are coming up. There's going to be lots of socks and my Cozy Memories blanket that I've been working on, hats, wraps, shawls, all that fun stuff. So let's jump into some finished objects first. I don't have a lot to show just because they've been given for Christmas presents already, but I did finish a pair of Christmas socks 2 days before Christmas. I bought the yarn while we were in Germany. It's a Regia Arnie and Carlos, and I just thought it was really Christmassy with the red and the green, and I bought some contrasting for the heels and the toes, not for the cuffs. The first sock had a knot in it, and the pattern was disrupted, so I got 3 reds before I got to a blue, and the blue is my favorite part, and I was really sad that it wasn't there more in this sock. So, but I got a little bit more of it in the second one, which I'm really happy about. I still haven't quite found my stitch count and the size needles that I like to use. These are zeros, but I think with 64 stitches. It may even be 60 stitches. I'll have to check my project page. Hopefully I put it there so I'll remember. So I did these for myself. And my husband already said that he wants to steal them from me. He's only a half size bigger than I am. I just have a really big foot. So he can actually wear these, but he'll probably stretch them out. So they might wear a little bit faster if he ends up borrowing them. And then some other things that I don't have on me, but I finished, and I'll insert some pictures, is a flax light sweater for my niece that was born right before the new year. It was in a really pretty purple keratin bowl. I wonder if I can find it really quick. In my stash. It's somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. Found it. Sorry. It's caked up for when I was working. It's a really pretty purple, and then I have enough left over. I think I'm going to do a Party on My Needle shawl by Joji Locatelli, because I have just enough that I could probably do the small one. I'm really excited just because it's really pretty that I have this left over. I mean, I'm wearing purple, blurple kind of colors right now anyways. So that turned out really well. I made a short sleeve one just so she would get some more use out of it because they live in North Carolina. And then I finished some socks for my dad out of some Regia self-striping blacks and grays with some greens in there. I did my first afterthought heel. Not a big fan. I don't know if I did it wrong, but it was just really big. It fit my dad's foot really well, but it did not fit mine. Granted, it was a lot more stitches than what I usually do on my own socks, so that might have been why it didn't fit my foot, because of course I wasn't making it for me. But it fit him really well, and I'll put a picture in just so you guys can see what it looks like, or what they look like. I made a pair, obviously. But I also did one afterthought heel different than the other, because I finished the socks about 2 weeks apart from each other, because I finished one, and then I was like, well, I don't want to make the second one and then not fit. So I presented my dad's gift, if you want to call it a gift, with only one sock, so he could try it on before I made a second one. Luckily the first one fit, and then I had a week to finish the second one, and I finished it relatively quickly, and I got it to him before we left, because we visited some family on the East Coast before we made our way to Texas, and I was able to do all of those projects for the holidays. I also finished a really great blanket for my mom. It got started by my grandmother, and she made these blankets for everybody in the family. I have one from when I went to college in my college colors, and babies usually always got one. If Levi got one when he was born, and she started this blanket and then gave me all the leftover yarn and her needles before she passed away, and I finished it for my mom and gave it to her for Christmas. So that was really special that had the pattern and I had parts of the blanket already finished, and then I just had to finish it for her. And then I did a cute little hummingbird cross stitch for my mother-in-law. Just a simple, I bought it off Amazon because I had done cross stitch a really long time ago and I wanted to try it again but not spend too much money on it. So I just bought a little kit, and then I made that for her. Insert picture here so you guys can see what it is. She just really likes hummingbirds, and I figured it would be a perfect gift for her. And I think that's pretty much all I have for finished objects. I know this is going to be a really fast podcast, so hopefully I'll have more to talk about in the future. Now it's time for works in progress. I have 1, 2, 3, 5-ish. My first one I started in Germany and then decided that it needed too much brain power for me to work on it while we were traveling and moving and 2 kids and a dog and everything. So it's the Walk in the Wood shawl. It's in this pretty Rowan cotton linen DK blend. I forget what the name of it is. I already threw away the wrapper or the yarn sleeve for it. And then the other part is this Misty Alpaca cotton silk, this bright turquoisey blue. So it's a really easy mosaic pattern, just slipping, and then you knit on the wrong side and purl, or sorry, knit on the right side and purl on the wrong side. And I've done 1 repeat already, and hopefully I can get 1 more out of what I have left. And then I will hopefully finish this by the end of January so I can actually have some time to wear it, because it gets so hot in Texas. I'm not ready, you guys. And those are just done on some Chiaogu needles. I'm on size 7s now, and then I think I did this part in 5s or 6s, just so that this would have a little bit more drape so it wouldn't be too tight. My next one I'm working on are some 2 at a time socks for my son. He's 5, almost 6, and he wanted some rainbow socks. So I picked this Knit Picks Chroma fingering, and they're going to be opposites because I didn't have a ball winder, so I am pulling from the center and the outside at the same time. These are on some Hiya sharps. I'm not a fan. The cord is a little bit too bendy for me, but I like the needles. They're nice, but I would rather stick with my Chiaogus when it comes to socks, especially 2 at a time, because it doesn't lay flat. Chiaogus lay a lot more flat for me, and I like that better. And this is the Pebble sock by Mina, her Beyond Vanilla Socks first pattern. I figured it'd be fitting moving to Texas where we have very little grass in our yard. Everything is rocks and pebbles and gravel everywhere. So I was going to knit through that as part of my Knit My Stash challenge. And then I can show you guys the ball. You can the blue and the yellow are on the socks already, so I'm at the point where a lot of the orange and the yellow and red are showing. And now I have my 4th Sockhead hat on the needles. I've knit 1 for myself, 1 for my husband, 1 for my friend Shannon, and a pay it forward, choose a random commenter on my Facebook. But I knit for her. I actually have that one sitting right here. This is Piraten Wool, again, same as that purple yarn that I showed you. It's a German indie dyer. So I got yarn really fast, and it's pretty soft, and she does a really good job dyeing it. It's really pretty. And then this one that I'm working on for a friend, it's a little blown out. It's not quite this bright. And then I did some stripes with, that's where I join at, so let's show it a different way. Some of the Knit Pick Stroll, and just I think a Celestial Heather, I think what it is. It's a really dark turquoise, not quite navy. So I've done all my striping, and then I'm just gonna knit until I get to the decreases and finish it up from there. Easy peasy. And then I was so tired of not finishing things, I cast on something else. So I pulled out my grandmother's needles. She used a lot of straight metal needles. I'm not so great at doing those, but I figured for this project, since it's not super long, I won't have to knit on them for too long. I'm just doing a dishcloth out of some peaches and cream, lilies and cream. I bought a cone of it a really long time ago, so I have a lot of this that I can knit with, so it'll probably make a decent amount of dishcloths to use in the house. So that's what I'm working on with that. Hopefully I can get that done. Just so some instant gratification, so it's done. Have all these things in progress, and I haven't finished anything, and it's already January 17th. And I jumped on the Cozy Memories blanket train, or hole, I guess. Jumped on, jumped in, depending on which one you want to say. So this is what I've done so far. Back up a little bit. These are all projects that I've done. Not a lot are minis. A lot of these are projects that I finished. I think there's only this one, this one and this one, oh, and the yellow. So 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 18 on here are minis. The rest are projects that I've done. So like this was, these two here, the pink and the gray, were a scarf. This was a scarf for a friend, a lot of socks. I also haven't woven in any ends. I think what I'm going to do is every 20 that I get to, I will weave in all the ends, or I'll figure out some way to knit the ends in so then I don't have to weave them in. Mine is a 59 stitch mitered square with a double decrease in the center, and they are knit on just some plain 1.5 size needles. I figured they're perfect. Germany likes to put these, or the German needles like to put these little crooks in them. So they're not very good for in the round because I felt like it got stuck a lot, but they're really great for these back and forth projects. Not a perfect cord either, but they were cheap. I needed some 1.5s at the time for a pair of socks, and they worked out very well. So it was a really short episode today. I was kind of going for that. I'm hoping to make them slightly longer as time goes on, but I've been very lucky that neither of my kiddos have come to interrupt me quite yet. So that's everything that I'm working on right now. I'll come back to you guys in maybe like a week or two and update on what maybe I've hopefully finished. Maybe this shawl will be done and I can wear it in the next one. This is a Exploration Station by Stephen West with some beautiful hedgehog fiber skinny singles. I will probably not be able to buy super fancy yarn in the near future, but this was such a beautiful project. I didn't want to waste some yarn that I had. I bought it for a different project and then I ended up using it for this instead. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's really super fast and short, but I hope you guys have had fun being here with me, and I hope to see you guys again in the future. Find me on Instagram and find me on Ravelry, and feel free to shoot me any messages that you might want to ask or just know about me.